Welcome back to another Color Me Purple review. Today we are reviewing the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 12, Episode 1, Out of the Woods and Back in the Streets, y'all. Let's get into it. I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Mr. Scrappy, y'all. He is my favorite character in this show or whatever. I'm going to see if I fall in love with anybody else. But I have mad respect for this man and the way that he carries himself and his family. But y'all, let's get into this episode. Excuse my excitement for the season. And don't y'all come for me like y'all came for me about Martell. I get to have an opinion too, baby. Anyway, they start the show with a recap of where we left off last season. Spice and her feuds. Rashida and Kurt building their forever home. Mama D and Bambi going through the drama of her continuously violating people's personal space and business. Scrappy telling Bambi to just try to love Mama from afar. Erica and Safari continuously falling out. Safari banging himself with that damn chair at the man cave event that they were having. And finally, Erica celebrating with Scrappy about her divorce being finalized. Although we remember that those quickly turned into tears, baby, because she was not happy about the check that she was receiving. Shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. I know you hear me on this radio. True. Okay, let me stop that. Anyway. So the episode starts with a recap of Spice and her award-nominated album. We know Spice is a dance hall artist where she was making a killing back home, but she's finally come over to the States and is being recognized for some of her work. They quickly cut over to clip rumors that dance hall artist Spice is in a coma, leaving fans concerned. If you guys remember, Spice went in for some surgery. She didn't tell us much at the start. She told us that her life was on the line, but come to find out she went in for some surgical improvements, we'll just call them, and ended up having some complications. She became sepsis, which is a blood infection. And honey, when you're sepsis, you just don't know. Okay, you just don't know which way it's going to go. They show a clip of Spice sharing that it was the most terrifying time of her life. She wasn't sure if she was going to make it, and she says that those around her and even the physicians were surprised that she made it through such a complicated situation. Child, those BBLs are coming for that ass, okay? Spice shares on October 31st, 2022, that she believes that she died on that day. They cut to a scene where she says, "God gave me a second chance, and I'm grateful to be here." They take us 3 months later, post her surgery, into Spice's home, where she's preparing her kids to go back home to Jamaica, where her mom resides. She feels as though her kids are better taken care of there, especially during the summertime while she's traveling as an artist. Y'all, this spread that Spice got on her table is looking too good. Let me know in the comments if this is how you're setting up breakfast at your crib. So we cut over to where the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta crew is arriving for a hype hair event. And they are looking snazzy, y'all, looking really nice and clean. They interview Kirk and they ask him, how is he keeping his marriage fresh? And Kirk says it's easy when you're waking up to your best friend every day. Because they are friends and partners, each day they wake up and they ask each other, what's popping today? What are we doing today? So they make every day fun with each other. They plan events. They get out there, y'all. And he didn't say all that, but I just want to clue y'all into what he's getting at because it's important for your relationships too. Here they are clipping us over to Miss Erica Mina. She's asked if her relationship with Safari has gotten better. And she says there is no relationship. He's the father of my children. And I just leave it at that. Rennie Rucci is then asked how is she feeling after her recent breakup to Keanu, and she says they're doing great. It wasn't a bad breakup. They skip over to Scrappy where he is with Chaotic. Scrappy is asked about the current status of his relationship with Bambi, and him and Chaotic laugh it off like it ain't nothing, boo. They quickly jump over to Young Jock and his girl Kendra, who are actually being featured on Hype Hair magazine. Y'all take a look at this cover. It's beautiful. It looks great. Kudos to them both for looking so fine on this cover, y'all. Jock shares that in the last year, they have really worked on their relationship and have been doing a lot to keep it together. Y'all know last season, baby, we left off with him having a baby in the middle of their engagement while they were preparing to get married. Granted, it was a whole scandal of they said they were broken up for 2-3 hours or whatever, and he went out and fucked somebody else. Y'all, they show young Jock asking Chaotic about Spice and if she's doing well. My quick senses went up, y'all. Why are we asking Chaotic about Spice? Y'all know last season it left off to where they was getting a little spicy in the little reunion show that they had mid-season. Anyway, I'm side-eyeing this situation, y'all, because they done buy Chaotic all the way from Love and Hip Hop Miami to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Apparently, he's got a storyline. Let's see what it's going to be. Anyway, he shares that he feels like he got too big for Miami, so he decided to move to Atlanta. They cut to Erica Mena having a conversation with Rashida and Kirk about being worried about Bambi, who is not seen at this party, and that the fact that they have a truckload of children. Rashida shares that she just feels like Scrappy has not adjusted to the lifestyle of being a parent. And Erica says that Bambi literally is calling him, trying to give him a chance, maybe sounding like she's checking on him, but she's really wanting him to come home. Y'all, I'm going to get into how I feel about Bambi and Scrappy soon, but let's stay in the storyline. They cut to Scrappy, who's sharing with us that Bambi has recently filed for divorce and that it's heartbreaking for him at the moment. As the show continues, they cut to a scene and pretty much, I guess, an announcement of Erica Banks, who has welcomed herself into the cast for this season. She is coming out with a performance and saying, baby, this is her season to show up and show out. Erica Banks announces herself as the Flow Queen and shares with us that she has gold records that have recently gone platinum. And if you don't know her, you would know her name now. Honey, not MTV cutting over to a clip of Scrappy talking about, oh, that's Erica Banks? Hold up now, Scrap. I guess that must be her storyline. Scrappy shares that, yes, he is hurting, but he is enjoying this view of Erica Banks' performance. Y'all, I'm not even going to lie. She dropped it down right in front of him and did that little Megan Thee Stallion swing. And she looked like she was performing just for Mr. Scrap. Young Jock shares that he believes in Miss Erica Banks and thinks that she is going to be the next superstar with the right guidance. Y'all, they cut over to Rashida and Kirk, who were sharing with a few of the cast members that they are taking their lounge and restructuring it into sort of a breakfast and brunch type venue. Scrappy's a little taken back, but they said that they promised that it's going to be fire nonetheless. They take us to a table where the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta ladies have begun to gather. Erica Banks shows up looking like a glass of orange Kool-Aid, followed by Rennie Rucci. Y'all, and not 2 seconds later, they let us know that Rennie Rucci and Erica Banks have a beef that is stirring up. Apparently, Rennie Rucci shares that Erica Banks knowingly talked to a gentleman that she knew had feelings for her. And she feels as though the shade has lingered, baby. The shade has lingered. Child, Rennie Rucci says, I can walk through this room and not give a fuck if she was here or not. Her words, not mine. Shots fired. Pow, pow, pow. Scrappy shares that Erica Mena has recently unfollowed him, and they take us to a clip where she's saying that she feels as though Scrappy is going to lose something really good if he doesn't get it together with Bambi. Y'all, I feel like Bambi was not treating Scrappy well last season, okay? She was really shitting on this man where he was trying to be emotionally available for her. She really closed him out, and they showed us that throughout last season, okay? But I digress. Erica Bank finds her way to Scrappy at the event. Child, they show her hustling through this event to pretty much find Scrappy. But when she makes it to Scrappy, y'all, she shares a few giggles and says that the last time she saw him was at a previous event where he was pretty much lit. Now, as they giggle a little bit over the top, you can see Rashida and Erica Mena slicing their ass with their glares. And Rashida says, you have kids at home, you're still married to Bambi, and you know Bambi is scoping this shit out, and she might pop off when she need to pop off. So apparently the situation sounds like it's very sticky at the moment. I'm a little disappointed that Rashida ain't taken up for her boy Scrappy, but I'm sure in this time where they've had 3 children, she's probably formed a great friendship with Bambi, and of course she's going to be protective, as all women should protect one another. But know when your friend's wrong, honey. Know when you need to call your girls out. Know when you need to tell her to have a motherfucking seat. So they cut over to Bambi, who's looking gorgeous, and she shares that although her and Scrappy have had some beautiful moments, getting their new home, having their first child, second and third, on the flip side, they've had some pretty terrible moments. So she recaps on her experiences with Scrap's mom, who, yes, we know, likely continuously violated her space. But what we also know about Bambi's disrespect and her personality in general is that she probably was not going to be able to handle his mama well any fucking way, okay? Bambi shares a couple memories about the last time we saw her with Scrappy is when he had stood up to his mother at that party and pretty much said, I need you to lay off my wife, and was really getting a lot of pressure from both sides. He really wanted to protect his relationship with his mom, but also knew that he needed to protect his wife. And I completely agreed with his gestures at those times. Bambi says that when she came from Las Vegas, she was really hopeful for her relationship with Scrappy, but ultimately ended up filing for divorce. She meets with attorney Brittany Dixon, who shares with her that they're going to need to go through the mediation process first to begin the process for their divorce. Bambi says it's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap, baby. So the ladies are gathering for a smash shit event that Rashida has invited them to. There's an addition of Jessica White, a world-renowned model, supermodel at that. She claims that she has replaced Tyra Banks on the cover of CoverGirl. To me, she looks a little stretched, y'all, but let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. She's beautiful nonetheless, but stretched the fuck out. I love that Rashida pre-printed some photos of the ladies' significant others for the smash session, baby. I see Erica's handed a couple clips of Safari looking fine as fuck. This should keep it pretty interesting. Yandy says she's sticking by her man, but she's getting an ass whooping tonight. Rashida gets Kirk and Sierra gets Eric. As you guys know, he did propose to her last season, but they have pretty much a rocky relationship. Sierra is crazy as fuck, so I'm sure she's a lot to deal with. So even though they propose, she says they're on a pretty rocky slope, so she's happy to get his picture and smash a little bit, you know? Rashida turns to Jessica and says, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you, and asks her if she's got a significant other that she imagines that she would want to bust up at the moment. Jessica, looking like she got a little secret to tell, but says nothing. The ladies take turns going into the smash room, smashing the heck out of shit, breaking glass, smashing washing machines. They take us to Erica Mena's session where she's yelling about Safari and the fact that he was in Jamaica dancing while she had her son in the NICU by herself, and how he's lied about wanting his family back. The ladies gather around her, noticing that she's gotten a little emotional, and Rashida's like, hey, this is supposed to be a stress reliever, and she's like, it was. It felt really good to let that energy out. Erica shares that she's thankful to have a group of friends that could feel without her having to explain how she was feeling in that moment. So Rashida later grills Jessica White with a few questions about, yeah, I saw you throwing some things in there and mentioning that this was for the hoes. And Jessica shares that it was sort of in regards to her 8-year relationship with Nick Cannon, one of the only times that she fallen in love, and where she thought that this was going to be her end-all and be-all. They show a few clips of a few news articles that detailed her infertility struggles and capturing the fact that Nick had a baby on her while they were on a so-called break. She felt like she lost herself in that process because while she was going through the miscarriage, Nick got the other woman pregnant, and where she felt like she was Jessica White, the supermodel, she then became another woman in the circus of Nick Cannon's baby mamas. Jessica shares that she felt like for the last 8 years, she was delusional and she felt that Nick did not love her. Honey, most likely, seeing how Nick is moving, you probably was all right for the first few years, but maybe at least a good 5. You probably were a little delusional, honey. But moving right along. Jessica shares that she is clinging to God at the moment and does not look forward to repeating this mistake. And Rashida and Yandy comfort her in saying that mistakes are made to be learned from. So we've all been there, we've all done that, but we all know that we need to grow from that. We're taken to an emotional moment with Spice and her kids at the airport while she's preparing to get them boarded onto a flight. She shares that her kids were her strength during that time of recovery and that they helped her to become whole again. Spice gets emotional about reliving the thoughts of her kids seeing postings on the internet saying that she was dead because she was noted to be in a coma. And she gets really emotional thinking of her kids having to experience and live through that moment. Y'all, that's some scary shit, okay? They take us over to Scrappy meeting Chaotic and Kirk out mudsliding and shit. Y'all, they ATV riding, really. Scrappy said he thought they were doing some Kirk type shit, so he dressed up in his good clothes instead of some damn mud boots or something, you know. Scrappy shares that he's happy to be doing this with the boys because it's a stress reliever. And he details that he's going through it with Bambi at the moment, who recently filed for divorce. Kirk asked him, so you ain't gonna fight for this? And Scrap says, I've been fighting, bending over and doing all the crazy shit that she's been wanting to do. And he said he's just gonna roll with the punches at this point. She filed it, so he's gonna move forward with it. He feels as though he was bending over backwards for her and she was not acknowledging his feelings. Y'all, like I just said a moment ago, Scrappy, thank you for confirming, because we saw that all season long. In his rant, he says, why should I have to fight for this when everything was an issue before the text message? And I think, like all of us, Kirk and Chaotic say together, hold on. What text message? Scrappy, what text message are we talking about? What did you do? Because while I'm all about the fact that Bam is showing her ass throughout last season and we cannot see that she's a good woman, you married her for some reason, so I'm sure there was something there and y'all need to protect the sanctity of that marriage. But let's get into it. Let's see what he says. Child, leave it up to Chaotic to be bewildered when Scrappy says that Bam is cutting him off because he was flirting and texting and chatting with another bitch. Chaotic is like, she cutting you off for that? And you ain't even hit nothing? Chaotic, sit your ass down somewhere. That's cheating too, boo. That's cheating too. Y'all let me know in the comments, what are your boundaries about cheating? Honey, if you texting, you're cheating. If you giving away any of my motherfucking time, you're cheating. Ain't no questions about it. Nonetheless, moving right along. Lo and behold, Scrappy proudly says it's because he was texting his ex Diamond from the club, y'all. And he like, yeah. Child, some dudes ain't shit. That ain't to you though, Scrappy. That ain't to you. So Diamond, y'all, is from Crime Mob, Nuck If You Buck Times. And of course, she worked with Scrappy back in the day. So right now, Crime Mob is on tour. So Scrappy, of course, is being featured on that tour and Diamond performing. So he said he was on that time when he ran into her and things got a little spicy. They did date between 2005 and 2011, which is some pretty good chunk of time. And I guess, you know, you lose a little vibes, you lose a little love, but you run into that bitch again, she's still a little fine. Yeah, let me holler at you real quick, okay? He shares that the things that Diamond tells him makes him feel good about himself. Y'all, this is how you keep a man. They are pretty much ego on steroids. You need to keep them feeling good about themselves, okay? It takes a little more than pussy to keep a man around. Granted, it does help. Scrappy ends the convo by saying he does not care about what Bambi doing. And he doesn't care about the news that she's selling in these streets either. They cut over to Kirk and Rashida, who have taken us to a Frost Bistro event where they are having a tasting with some close friends because they are transitioning their lounge to a breakfast and brunch type venue. Of course, those close friends are the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast who have came out and showed out looking all snazzy and good. Bambi shares that she cringes at the thought of Chaotic as they cut over to Chaotic chatting with Erica Mena because she just hates the way that he acts and treats women. And of course, that's who Scrappy has been spending a lot of time with lately. Chaotic shares that he is just looking for love and then quickly turns over to Erica Banks and and tries to spit a little line on her while he's on his knees, y'all. Y'all know he played too much, letting her know that I love your physique and I just want to know if you got time to play with me. Chaotic is a straight trip, y'all. Chaotic and Erica Banks do share a quick little rhyme and everybody starts cheering them on. But let's see where this plays out to, honey, because for a quick 2 seconds, I thought Erica was going to be Scrappy's love letter in this season, but it may just be Chaotic. But let's see. They cut over to Bambi, who says she's getting very annoyed just by Chaotic's presence. And just a few seconds later, they show us her approaching him and asking him, hey, are you married? Do you have kids? Because I see you sitting next to my man. Encourage him to do all type of fuck shit. And I don't really like that. Y'all, Bambi gets emotional and sounds like she's on the brink of tears as she's telling him, you don't really know me, but that man got a whole family at home. Bambi, this is not the motherfucking time, but I guess she's going through an emotional time right now, y'all. Y'all, Bambi actually starts crying and asks Chaotic, why would you encourage him to leave his family? And I feel bad for Chaotic because he trapped with 2 plates in his hand like, hold up. This is unexpected and I'm not encouraging this man to leave his family. Ladies, let me know down in the comments how many of y'all got these men out here who got friends who just playing with y'all fucking time, who trying y'all, got y'all man out here in these streets. I just don't feel like this is what's going on in this situation, although it could be. Scrappy need a little friend to hang out with while he's stressed. Of course, the baby mama ain't gonna like that, you know? Bambi later retreats and goes to sit with the girls where she starts to detail that she doesn't think there has ever been a time where she's been insensitive about Scrappy's feeling. I'm going to let you keep that for now because we know you fucking lying, but moving right along. She says that she manages the household and pretty much pays all the light bill, the light, the gas, the water, and that Scrappy is missing out on paying his rent. And since they've been behind on his half of the rent, they actually have to find another place to live. Ouch. Nobody wants to hear that. So you see that they all are pulling towards Bambi and telling her that they're sorry for her, sorry that this is happening. Kirk says that he's seen this movie before. He's seen it to where, you know, people walk away from a situation and look back and say, damn, I really let something go. And then it's too late. It's too gone. It's too far gone. But Kirk, I kind of feel like that's what Bambi going through right now. Last season, when Scrappy needed her to be there for him, she gave him her ass. And now that he's too far gone, he don't want to try to work on things, or he cares less to do so. Now she's going through the consequences of that situation. So I don't know what y'all seeing. Y'all they friends. Maybe I'm missing something. So they cut over to Bam and Scrappy in their home where they are pretty much packing up, y'all. They show a few clips from the last season where Scrap had just got the home while Bambi was pregnant, you know, sharing her the announcement like, hey, this is just for you and our little bundle of joy. Bambi shares that she loved the home and is sorry to see it go. So she confronts Scrappy and it's like, you seem all kind of nonchalant about us moving, like you don't even care. And Scrappy tells her it takes 2 to mess up a marriage. You know, he feels like she checked out some time ago and that she had too many people in her ear who, because their relationships weren't working, they drug her down with her. Y'all, I feel like that was Erica Mena. It was Erica Mena. You know, it was almost like a bandwagon type thing. Erica was going through her drama. She wanted her friend to suffer too. Y'all, misery loves company. Let's keep it at that, and that's 100. So again, if you remember last season, Bambi was very short and disconnected. Even now, Scrappy says that he felt like it would have took just one mistake and she would have walked out on him at any moment. You know, and Scrappy was struggling financially back in the day, so he really needed the support emotionally. And she checked out on him and embarrassed him a few times, you know. So now the situation has flipped and we're seeing the consequences. And he pretty much tells her he sees the move as the fact that she ain't one day family. She ain't want this, so you might as well let it go. Scrappy yells that that's all that you say is that I never do nothing and I'm never there, but who was there? Y'all, do not push your men away by not acknowledging even these small wins. Y'all, it takes time to build a foundation. So little by little, you build your kingdom. If you don't appreciate the small wins, honey, how can I trust you to enjoy the top with me? So yes, I remember plenty of times where she pretty much put Scrappy to the side like he was nothing and aired that on TV. And for a man's ego, I'm sure they both heard a lot from us in their comments, letting them know how we felt about that. Because baby, if that's a snapshot of y'all relationship, y'all shit was in trouble. Scrappy feels like she disregarded a lot of the things that meant something to him, like his performances, and that even when he had something going on, she would let him know that she had other plans. Of course, Bambi feels as though it was just too much for her to keep up with. And I get it, with 3 kids, it would have been a lot to keep up with. But I feel like the disrespect that they endured started way beyond that 3rd child. Scrappy yells and pretty much gets emotional, saying that you never take accountability. You're driving me crazy, acting as though you've done nothing in this relationship to contribute to where we are today. So Bambi yelling back clues us into a few more details about this text message with Diamond, and says that Scrappy brought someone else into the relationship, and that when he was texting Diamond, he was letting her know that Bambi is fucked up, that he don't like her, he don't fuck with her no more. So pretty much talking to another woman about what was going on in their household. She asks him, why were you being with me if I was so horrible? And Scrappy don't even respond to the text message allegations, child. He pretty much just says, same for you. Why you with me if I'm so horrible? She says that she found text messages and DMs between Scrap and Diamond, basically setting up link ups to get together after their performances. And that he's been frolicking all over the millennial tour, y'all. She shares that some of those text messages were saying, are you coming to my room? Where you at? Are you coming? And that this is a different level of betrayal. Dun, 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 dun. So Scrappy starts yelling, you're trying to make me look bad, go ahead. Starts to pull the leads for the cords, and he's exiting and is on his way out. Y'all stay tuned for another Color Me Purple episode. We'll see you next time.